Welcome back to another video. Uh, on this video, we're going to be talking about this reality and the so-called Matrix. Matrix seems to be the hot topic, and the exiting the Matrix. And but also, I'm just gonna use the what you see there, uh, the cross, the symbol of Christianity, and amongst other things. And but I'm just doing my artsy crafty thing here, just to demonstrate the how we experience our reality, how our soul experiences the reality, and how we get to project the pure light through our prism into this reality, and how it all works together with other souls and all that good stuff. So the first video I did was just kind of laying down the foundation, kind of like the structure, kind of like mapping out the how consciousness and this physical reality work together. And now I'm trying to focus more on the individual experience in this reality, and how that's all projected, manifested, created by you. So like I said, we're starting out with the cross. And do not be discouraged by the cross. It's just a symbol. And just like any symbol, it is a neutral thing. Like, your attention gives it the power, if you so wish. Like, the cross is just the cross. It's nothing more. It's just two lines. But if you want to, like I have never seen this before. So, but it's just how I feel about the cross. I'm not a religious person per se, but the way I see the cross is, it's more like, I would call it the scale of the soul. And it's it's basically, it's just two lines, very simple two lines. I'm gonna be adding these colors on it later, just to give the demonstration some more depth. But just for now, we can start, like, reverse engineering what the cross actually is, or what it means. And like I said, I call the cross the scale of the soul. It is where and how your soul is having its experience in this reality. So with the, there's two different lines. It's just basically two different lines in a cross. So there's vertical, and then there's the horizontal line. And they both, to me, and this is just a disclaimer, to me, they both have their own significance. Like, the the vertical is the infinite. That's where we all come from. Like that is the consciousness manifesting outwards, basically. That's the pleroma. That's all that is, ever was, and ever will be. That's the infinite. That is the consciousness. And then there is the horizontal line. And okay, let's just start. We can. That's so we have the infinite, which is the vertical line, and it it kind of goes up and down like the thermometer, like the thing that shows you the temperature, and it uses mercury, and the liquid in the thermometer, it goes up and down depending on the temperature. So if we were to switch the temperature with frequency or vibration, which is the same thing, just like temperature is. Uh, so just to make this more familiar with people who have been looking into the like spirituality and all that stuff. So a lot of people would be familiar with the different colors and how they are represented in the so-called spiritual realm. And if we were to add the colors, we can just remove that for a second, and we could just like put these on the vertical part of the scale. And I'm sure you all have the understanding what the colors actually mean. So it's just your basic seven colors demonstrating the different frequencies, your chakras, your archonic uh, points, whatever you want to call them. There's so many. Your seven heavens, your whatever. But it's all on that vertical line. And in my view, in where I am right now, like in the spirituality, we can use this horizontal line as a demonstrator to show where. Well, let's remove the colors for now, but you got the idea on what the colors were for. So basically the horizontal line is representing where your soul is on this material reality, having the experience. And this gives us the duality, the I wouldn't say an illusion of duality. You can use whatever terminology that you like, but on the horizontal we have the like we are all individuals. We are having the individuality. We're sharing the individuality, and there's the dualism in the individual. So it doesn't really matter what you want to call that, but the horizontal line, it's got both polarities. It's got the left and the right. It's got the sun and the moon. So whichever end you want to work on your soul's experience, that's up to you. So and I don't see the cross as being like a solid fixture. I see it as something that you can just like slide up and down, and you've seen the satanic cross, and it's kind of like an inverted cross. But what it actually, to me it means that if you're in that satanic mindset, you are in the lower frequencies. That's where you are operating in that lower frequency, where which is all about the material, the identity, the uh, like all that good stuff. So and and that's basically, and it goes the same way with the LGBTQ plus minus 72,000 whatever movement, where they are using the rainbow flag as their badge of honor, basically. But what it is kind of like the reversed, the colors of the chakra system reversed. So they have the reds on top. So they basically they are focusing more on the identity and the material and the sexes and all that. But if you come up here with your soul and you want to experience, and like the spirituality, they kind of just focus on the opposite of that. So they want you to only to feel the highest of frequencies, to vibrate on the highest way. And the spirituality would like for you to, and this is actually where people like the higher you get on the scale and closer to the middle you get, you go back to that feeling of oneness again. And that's kind of, the further left you go, the further right you go away from the oneness. But this is kind of like the scale of the soul. And if you remove the the colors, it is completely up to you. You can, that is as close as you're gonna get. It's going back to the infinite, the oneness. But this is your reality, this is your experience here. And if you're on the right or the left, it's like, let's say there are two people having the same experience, and the other part is on the right hand and the other part is on the left. There's gonna be a conflict between them. So the truth is always in the middle. So let's go back to the infinite and let's start putting this thing together, how you project. This is you, the purest light, the colorless color, projecting from the infinite. And it projects through your mind, body, spirit. And that comes out as all these beautiful colors, and it manifests because you are human, you are hue light manifesting. And that's where, how you are manifesting through your prism of mind, body, spirit. And your colors are then added to the beautiful cosmic kaleidoscope of colors. And this is the house you need to have in order for your colors to be vibrating in the most harmonious way. But don't be disencouraged about any of this. You can never do anything wrong or right. Nothing is more right or more wrong. It's just how this thing operates. So it is up to you what you feel that is the right thing for you to do. It is gonna be the right thing. So just, but there, when you're having that feeling that the your universe, the mind, body, spirit, your soul having the experience through this prism. Your house is not in order because it's not, you're not aware of that you are the mind, body, spirit having the experience. And then if you don't have that, some might say alignment, but just awareness of that you are just having that experience through that mind, body, spirit. And then it can feel very chaotic when like the white pure light comes through there and you don't have the awareness yet. So what you project out with your beautiful colors, it will manifest in a pretty chaotic way, but because that's how you are feeling inside. But once you come back, you kind of come back from like self-reflection. You reflect the colors back to yourself. Now you know the how chaotic your inner world is, and that's only reflected on the outer world as well. So uh, so once you come back with the self-reflection and you realize that you are actually the pure white light manifesting, and you start doing that manifestation consciously, then once you've gone within, you you can now operate, you can now project with the different level of awareness that you are the consciousness having this experience. So you don't have to you don't have to try to change the outside and the conflicts and the chaos on the outside. Now you can just see your own conflicts within, your own wars, your own everything within, and then you are able to project out completely different set of vibration, basically, because everything is a vibration. And but yeah, you are a manifestation. You are human. You are the light manifesting. And it's all your own creation, your own projection, your own manifestation. Through your colors, that's your input to the universe, all reality. And that's how your, like the infinite, it doesn't, it will never change. The infinite is always the infinite. There's nothing conflicting there. So it's just this experience that you project through your mind, body, spirit. And that's how you create your reality. And like I've said in the first video, it is completely up to you how you do that, what you want to do that. There is like my way of coming from the light is different. Like let's say yours is the purest light, and now you come out with the consciousness. You are aware of that consciousness. So then we kind of the like the closer, like I don't, the whole term alignment is just alignment means coexisting with the mind. Ment is mind, align is aligning with the mind. So it's just like coexisting with the mind. So So, but yeah, the like the I would see the alignment to becoming a thing once you come you come from that awareness that you are the consciousness manifesting, and you kind of lose the identity of yourself but others as well. Then you're able to meet every situation from that neutrality where you see everything as part of your projection, your reality, your universe. But you also leave that, let's say there's a person that you are having the experience with, so you leave that, like there's no judgment on anybody's universe or anybody's uh, experience anymore. And let's say that this harmonious, whatever you want to call, like blissful life would just be everybody having the awareness of that they are having this experience from that pure white light. And then the kind of the idea would be that we are all aligned because everybody has lost their inner conflict, so there won't be any conflicts on the outside either. But it's not, the conflicts are there for a reason. So there wouldn't be, like nobody would be interested in learning anything like this if they wouldn't have had those conflicts in their lives. And that's usually the suffering and pain are the things that kind of lead us back. So now we can start to reverse engineering how this all works. And if we remove the colors, we remove the house. So now we have lost the identity basically, and now we're so this is our mind, body, spirit, but we can get rid of that too. And now we don't have to have the light projection either. So what are we left here with is I am. And what does I am mean? Like why, like they, the saying is that the God manifests through I am. Like that's God's language of manifesting. It starts with I am. So what is I am? I think the am, I is pretty it's the infinite, but we're gonna come back to that. But am, what does am mean? Am means love. The root word of love is am, and it's amor in and so we have love. So what does I mean? So in the old English, the I was actually, it was written A-Y-E-N. No, A-Y-E. Sorry, A-Y-E. I. And I means to surrender. So I am means to surrender to love. To surrender to love. That's what I am means. And that's like the beauty of it. Once you start manifesting or projecting from that I am, you're you are consciously surrendering to love in every situation. And that's the natural flow within. That's the love. That's the underlying hum that we all have. And that's that's amor, and that's why all roads leads to Rome. Rome is amor reversed. And Rome, we go back to pleroma, where we all come from. So that's the root word of love. Am, amor, Roma, pleroma. So that's my best explanation on I am, to surrender to love. And if we remove the am, we're left with I. We're left with oneness. We're left with the infinite. We're left with the pure conscious. And that's kind of how this that's where we always go back to. This is the beautiful nothing, where everything exists but nothing. Like there is nothing there, but that's the beauty of it. There is no agenda there. So yeah, so this is kind of like my way of explaining. I don't know if that made any sense to anybody, but the scale of the soul is you having your soul having this material experience, and it's always up to you at all times where you want to be on that scale. You can be as and trying to deny the full spectrum, like the full spectrum is between fear and love. Those are the two basic elements those are the two so-called polarities that we work in between of. So it's always up to you where you want to be on that scale, but trying to deny that because fear is just as beautiful as love. If you don't have to be living in fear, but fear is usually the thing that guides us in the most beautiful way back to this infinite consciousness, back to love, back to pure oneness. So and then we can project whatever we want back through our prism of mind, body, spirit. But it's always up to you where you want to be on that scale. It doesn't have to be the highest of frequency or the lowest. It can be whatever. And if you think about, like I said, on the horizontal line, you can operate on the far left or the far right, and the opposites, between the opposites there's always like conflicts, because, well, just in politics in general, like you can see how the people are affected about the polar opposites. But all that kind of goes away. But like the need to be right about, or like be more right than everybody else, that just goes away. But yeah, it's just like you can still experience the horizontal as you like, or you can go back to the oneness. It's all up to you. But it doesn't really matter. You can, the full spectrum is there for you to have this experience. It's not there for you to deny some of it. But once you have the awareness, you have the experience. Is fear something that you want to be living in? Or like the more conscious you become of the scale, now it's up to you where and how you want to operate in all this. So it's and like let's say that in the spirituality, the goal would be the enlightenment, which I explained in the previous video, which is nothing more than the complete absence of resistance to what is. So, but they would like for you to have your experience as far up as possible, and as far in the or close to the center as possible, or even losing that identity altogether. But in the meantime, before you're still having this experience in the physical reality, you can just utilize the full spectrum and use that in any way you like. There is nothing is more better or worse. So based on what I just showed you there with the scale of the soul, with the cross, and how you project your pure light from the infinite through your prism into this reality, or thing we call reality. So let's draw that thing one more time, just to get that understanding of so this is the reality. This is your whatever matrix. That's the first guy, and here we go with the friend. And okay, so this is the so-called duality, but is there actually, like me, okay, let's say that this is me, and the listener in this case, somebody watching the video, if there's anybody watching this, this would be you, or it could be vice versa, it doesn't matter. But we get the experience of having separate we get the feeling of having a separate experience, and that's all well and good. There's nothing wrong with just enjoying that moment. Let's say you're sharing something with your friend or whoever, and this just like a standalone thing can be very magical and very, very lovely. But but yeah, I guess my question is there really a dualistic reality, or is it just one consciousness experiencing this all through these so-called individual experiences? So it is just the consciousness having these separate experiences. So on that projection, like I showed you, where the white light comes through your prism, your mind, body, spirit, and now you're projecting that into the reality. So usually people who watch something or try to learn something like this is because they're not happy with the reality they are in right now. So they are looking for ways to change that. And because they are let's say that I'm projecting my colors here, and this is my reflection. Like I said in my previous video, everything on the outside is just your inside in the disguise, but you don't have the awareness of that. So there's going to be a conflict, because what you're reflecting out, because you're having inner conflicts, that doesn't bounce back in with the same clarity. Like there's like conflict the way the colors bounce back, like the reflection is not clear. So that's why we tend to find people who are like-minded, because we are not comfortable being around people that are not like-minded. So we try to avoid the conflict consciously. Like we don't like the conflict. We like to surround ourselves with like-minded people, because we like to. And even with the like-minded people, the reflection of the colors is not like 100% clear, or it doesn't bounce back in like perfectly aligned. But that's only because we still have those inner shadows. And but just realizing that. Like we try to create our reality so it would be without conflicts. And if somebody we don't like, for whatever reasons, like irritates us, so we would like to change that to suit our mindset better, basically. And but if you have the understanding, it's basically just you looking at your own reflections, your own shadows broadcasting back at you, and the more you try to shout to that person there, like, you need to change, blah blah blah, there's a mirror between the two, right? But well, I guess we could say that on the other side there is nothing. It's just the mirror, right? So because that guy is trying to get that image on the mirror to smile, but it's all grumpy and sad and whatnot. And this dude is trying to polish the mirror, make it look better, the mirror. But like that guy can try to work on the mirror as much as possible, but the image on the mirror doesn't change. The only way to change the image on the mirror is going within and changing that, like getting that understanding that you are looking at a mirror. So now you can smile at the mirror. So now the mirror will smile back. But if you have that separate idea, like the idea of separation, that this is just like something separate outside of you trying to irritate you, and you try to shout it so this would suit your mindset better, it will not work. It's gonna stay in a very conflicted ways. But if you accept the image in the mirror, or if you realize that the image is just you reflecting, it's your colors bouncing back, showing all the shadows that you have, like, and then you kind of get that alignment with the colors once the kind of the reflection becomes clear. So one might say that and what I said on the previous video, this is the now. This is the current moment. Current moment, and there's nothing outside this. We got that on the previous video, right? So the current moment is your energy flowing. So your energy is flowing right here, and because it is the now, there is nothing outside the now, and you could also call this the present moment. And present is what you get on your birthdays, basically. But so that's birth is where it all starts. It's the present moment. It's the gift. The present moment. It is the gift moment. There is nothing outside the. This moment is the only gift that you're ever gonna get. This moment. That is your present. That is your present that you get from birth. The now, the present moment. And one allegory that we could use on the last one, I said that this might be the Matrix, and it might as well be. But we could also call this the Plato's cave. And there are many books about, well, Plato started the whole thing, but there are like books trying to analyze the what the meaning of the Plato's cave is. There's all these philosophical views on what Plato was trying to tell us when he wrote the cave thing. And then there's people, of course, who want to exit that cave. And okay, so if we see this as the Plato's cave, this is your pure light broadcasting into the cave. And it is your shadows that would be reflected here on the walls of the cave that you see. And those shadows look very real. They are the only real thing that you know, because you have been living in the Plato's cave your whole life. And because your pure light comes out through your mind, body's spirit prism, and it creates these shadows on the walls of the cave. And you don't understand that the shadows are all created by you at all times. There is nobody. You are the projector projecting everything here. Like the shadows are your shadows. So once you kind of understand that, then the cave just becomes a cave. Just like I told. Like there's nowhere to go from the cave. And once you meet your shadows, you accept your shadows, you know what the shadows are, then the need to leave the cave kind of becomes redundant. Like, and of course, if you face all your shadows in the cave, in the Plato's cave, and you still feel like, okay, I still need to exit this somewhere. Well, you go back to nothing. But I would it's just my point of view. Once you go through all your shadows, you realize what they are there for. The need to exit kind of goes away. You liberate yourself from the shadows, and you can enjoy the present moment, the biggest gift we have. So, yeah, I guess that's enough for our second video. But the Matrix is the Plato's cave. The reality is the Plato's cave. You are the one projecting the shadows in the cave. But now that you understand that, now you can face the shadows and go back to the present moment or the current moment and let your energy flow consciously. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so before I go, somebody asked me, they sent me an email after they'd seen the first video. They asked about the alternative realities. The person said that they've been able to experience like astral plane realities, and how I said that there is no alternative realities. But that's not actually what I said. I said there are no alternative realities outside the now. In the current moment, the present moment, you can have whatever. You can have all the astral planes. You can have all the experience. There are no boundaries what can happen here. The experience has no boundaries. The only thing confining that in any way is your mind. And the astral planes, everything, it always happens in the now. There is no astral planes here or here or here. It's just now. And I'm gonna do another video based on this, because I guess this with the first bit, it's gonna be quite long again. So I'm gonna do another video on death and the reincarnation. But there's gonna be a couple of other videos in the meantime. But at some point I'm gonna do the death and the reincarnation, because that seems to be I don't know, a thing for a lot of people. So, but anyways, thank you.